Welcome back to the Morning Mist 99 Above and Beyond Schizophrenia. For this video, I want to talk about a requested topic. Now, first of all, I want to apologize to the person who requested that I take up this subject. I was trying to make this video in a certain way, using because I have a lot of thoughts, a lot of visuals, I guess, that I would like to create a video with or videos with, but I'm not really tech savvy, so that was taking me a bit longer. And with work and family and stuff, that I just it was taking too long, and so I got to work out some more different ways on how to better accomplish that in a shorter time frame, I guess. So essentially, I got to practice. Essentially, I got to practice. But um, for that, the topic was self doubt. That was the request, and it is a very broad topic, self doubt, because the foundation of schizophrenia itself is doubt, and I think all mental illnesses, the foundation is doubt, right? So self doubt is part of that foundation. It's a natural consequence of doubting, right? Because when you enter a delusion, right, schizophrenia, it cannot it cannot have power over you. It cannot split your reality if you do not first doubt your present reality, right? That's the way it functions, right? Split mind, schizophrenia, right? Split minds. You split from the shared reality to a personal reality that only you can experience. But you have to first doubt the shared reality. That's the only way it can manifest itself and grab a hold of your life, right? So it's very interesting how it works. It's very slick, when you think about it. Like for me, it started with doubting my friends, thinking they're demons, trying to kill me, trying to poison me, trying to, making fun of me, all this stuff, right? And then it went to my family, right? You see, and then when you doubt all these people, like people, like, listen, everybody experiences doubt. Doubt's a natural part of life, right? It's something we all go through, right? And we all maybe at times doubt our friendship, doubt people are friends, doubt this. That's natural, but the problem is when that goes into uh, more, not just one person, but and there's no evidence of what we're doubting them, or which is more believing them to be, because I'm gonna go all over the place. Let me try to keep this close. We There's no evidence of believing that, let's say, my family or my friends are trying to kill me, right? So that doubt isn't justifiable, right? It's not like somebody doubts that this person's their friends because they're gossiping on them, or maybe they're making fun of them with other groups of friends or whatever, right? That's something that can really happen in, and even though people might say that's not happening, it could be a real thing, right? Now, because when it gets out of line is where it's not just one person. You see, you avoid a person you think is trying to get you. The next person you're friends with, they're also trying to get you, right? The next person, they're also trying to get you. See, so now you start to doubt all these people, right? And you doubt your family, And what happens when you doubt all these relationships and the world, the shared reality, is that you start to doubt yourself in relation to this reality, right? So that's kind of how self-doubt kind of sneaks in without you even knowing it, right? It doesn't start with you feeling insecure, feeling this. It starts with you not trusting other people who you're usually close with, you're good with, people you know and who know you, right? It's a seed that's laying, that's getting implanted, right? And now it's going to eventually come full circle and it's going to point to you. You won't be able to believe in yourself for anything, right? Because you allowed that doubt to persist. And I say allowed because that's exactly what happens. We have to allow it, right? That's how it works, right? That's how it works. You have to allow it because it's your mind, but you don't know what's happening, and so that's why we allow it, right? I did the same thing, right? So that's kind of how it went with me, you know, my family, my friends, my family, and it went to it got so far, so extreme that I couldn't even talk to my mom or my sisters or whatever without just pure anxiety, right? I didn't believe I could accomplish anything, that I could get out of this situation. I didn't believe I couldn't even read a book, a page of a book without my mind just going crazy, right? So now I doubt myself being in a public place because I don't have any confidence, right? And when you look at doubt definition, is self doubt is a lack of belief or lack of confidence in oneself or abilities, right? I think that's a dictionary definition. And so doubt would just be a lack of belief or confidence, right? And if you look at a definition, lack of confidence, right, in oneself, a lack of, right? So when you flip it around, doubt or self doubt, you flip it around, you get what? Self belief, or belief, so which it becomes a confidence in one's self or abilities, right? So what does doubt, what does it do? It strips you, it robs you of confidence, right? And confidence, I've said, is synonymous with faith, right? That's what confidence means, is belief. Belief is faith, right? And so, and that's the foundation of your internal world, is built on faith, your confidence in the reality that you experience, right? That's how you are, and that's what happens when you start to doubt this reality. What happens is you start to fall because now the foundation is cracking, right? And the more it cracks, then it completely shatters. And then that's how intense delusions take hold. And it's filled with paranoid fears and all these things, right? You don't know what the heck, where you're going, what's going on. You're lost because you're not holding to anything. You're not stable. You're not standing. You're just falling, right? And so, in the midst of all of this, as you continue to doubt and continue to doubt, you lose yourself, right? And that's how self doubt comes into play, right? Because when you think of a character traits, strong character traits, got a little bit of cough here, so you're gonna have to excuse me. Strong character traits, you think of, is love, there's faith, there's hope, there's courage, there's righteousness, there's determinations, uh, there's those good things, right? These are what are, because all other like qualities, they originate, they'll stem from those core uh, 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 traits, right? So these are what kind of make you feel whole. These are what keeps you stable, right? Because you've got to have a courage to leave your room knowing that anything can happen out there. You can lose your life, right? It's not far fetched to think that, you know, like you just don't know who the person is coming down the hall, what their mind state is. You don't know, but so it takes some courage, right? But you don't think about it like that. But you unconsciously you believe you're going to be safe. That's why you go and you go do what you got to do without fearing that someone's going to attack you or whatever like that, right? So it's courage and it's a belief that we gives us that confidence, right? So that's 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 one. And then you look at hope, you look at love, you look at like all these other traits. They make us whole, right? So now when schizophrenia comes in and these doubts, you start to doubt. Uh, you start to doubt the people. So you're losing confidence in people. You're losing faith in people. You start to doubt. Uh, you might doubt your own safety because maybe aliens or some greater power than you're able to control or to do anything against is coming after you, right? So you become powerless, right? So now you start to feel even more insecure, more afraid. So what happens when courage goes out is what fear comes in, right? When certainty goes out, confusion comes in, right? You go home, you're certain as your place of safety, your wife, your husband, your kids, everybody's people who you know when you have confidence, and so there's a certainty about the environment and the home, and so when you know in all other places too, that's there's a certainty there, there's an expectation. So when you that's gone, confusion comes in, and these things are empty. They don't fill you with anything, right? And with confusion, there's becomes insecurity as well. With that and fear comes insecurity. So all these are what we get when we lose those positive and strong traits, right? And this is what schizophrenia imparts to us, while it takes, right? While it takes those things, right? Remember, self doubt is a lack of. Doubt is a lack of confidence, right? So that's kind of and it's if it's lacking, but you weren't always lacking, right? You had those, you had confidence, you had, and I'll prove it to you. Some people think, oh, I've always had schizophrenia since I was whatever years old. You had no confidence. Like no, you were born with confidence, right? You were born with confidence. You were born with faith, strong faith, right? You had to have it, or else, because if you want to understand, look at a child. Like a child will show you faith, what it is to believe. They are a perfect example of how faith operates, right? A child would, like, just look at them how they learn to walk. They'll see you and they'll, you will fall in love with the parents, mostly mom, mostly mom, who has a time with them, right? And but they'll fall in love and they want to do what you do, right? That's why, and then they'll start, as they start to grow, they start to crawl, right? Crawl, and crawling is not their intention. There's something inside them that's pulling them to do that, right? And so it's not crawling that they want to do. They want to walk just like mommy, just like daddy, right? That's what they want to do. But in their effort, they can't do that, but they start to crawl, It's beautiful, right? But there's something pulling them that convinces them that they can do what you're doing, and they don't think about it. So upon crawling and crawling and failing and trying to get up, they go to that, and then they'll try to stand up. They'll fall down, but they're not deterred, right? They're not deterred. They don't lose hope. They don't lose faith. They don't lose anything, right? They get excited. They're happy. They just got that work in, And if you keep watching that, eventually they'll start to what? Take one step, two step. They'll get up and it builds their confidence the more they accomplish. Even if they try and fail, they don't get discouraged, right? And what happens is their faith manifests, the result of their faith manifests, and they stand up and they walk, right? That's how we do things in life. That's how we build confidence, right? You had to have it in you internally before you were born. It had to be there, or else you would never have done anything. You'd have been discouraged since before you come in the womb, probably, right? You know, so that's how that works, right? And so in order, and also there's another aspect of self-doubt, that because once you maybe, let's say you're taking medications, throat's dry. So let's say you're taking medications, and or whatever, right? You're working to take your life back and everything, right? You have that. Let's say you understand and you know what's going on. You want to do some things, but now what happens is you fear that you're gonna fail. Here's the thing about that. There's a certain kind of fear, a certain kind of doubt, self-doubt, that's actually rooted in pride. There's a psychotic self-doubt that's come through psychosis. There's another one that's, even when you come beyond that, or you start to understand and you know what's going on and whatever, and you're trying to move forward, but oh, I'm worried about what that person gonna think of me, what they're gonna say about me. And you see this with mental illnesses, and how the stigma surrounding mental illnesses is that a lot of the reason why people don't speak about this stuff. Excuse me. I'm not gonna delete any of this stuff out. Actually, I ain't deleting none of this stuff out. But I ain't got time for that. But another when people, I want to say, I lost my train of thought there. Yeah, when you think people are looking at you, and I'm not gonna do that. Oh yeah, what I was talking about, the stigma. So the stigma is is rooted in pride, because not the people who cast the stigma, but the people who are allowed that to make them feel ashamed and afraid. It's because we are prideful, right? We're so concerned about what other people think of us. We're more concerned about that than actually being honest and open about with what's happening. And so it might be a different situation when, let's say, you are maybe going for a job interview, or worried about something like that. That's more that's not, I don't think that's exactly the same thing, because if that wasn't you not getting the opportunity, you wouldn't you hey you speak up, right? But this is like, oh, I'm gonna lose, how people are gonna treat me, I'm gonna lose this friend or that friend. It's like, you know what, if people are uh it's more about how we are going to look, or people are gonna we're going to be perceived, right? I know a lot of people might disagree with that, But that's where it's rooted in, right? That's at least that's my opinion, my understanding, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But so and this what keeps a lot of people from stepping forward, right? When you think about, hey, you want to go do something. Let's say you're talking about self doubt. You want to try something, but you're afraid because they're gonna laugh at you. You're gonna look like a fool. You're gonna look silly. So you're afraid to even attempt because your mind isn't necessarily about uh, accomplishing the task. It's about how you're going to be judged by some people out there looking at you. So your fear is more about what other people think, as opposed to maybe you're gonna hurt yourself, maybe you're gonna smash your head open, maybe you're gonna scrape your knees up, maybe you're gonna do this, maybe I shouldn't because of that. Whereas a safety reason, it's like, no, how they're gonna look at me, what they're gonna think of me, right? So that's rooted in a pride, right? So the way to get through self doubt and through just doubt in general, and this is something you're gonna have to struggle with. You're gonna have to struggle with it, especially when you're trying to come through, um, with schizophrenia, and even if you are trying to go a non-medication route, your greatest enemy is going to be your doubts. That's going to be the giant, a monster, right? Because you're gonna know that, oh, you're having this, schizophrenia or whatever, and so things aren't real, and the voices, the delusions, whatever, right? The perception, but you're gonna be so tempted to believe some of this stuff, or to even believe you can recover, right? You're gonna, oh man, because all this stuff's going on up here, and oh, it's so impossible. Oh, this, you know what? Remember that child? Remember the child learning to walk, learning to walk, right? And so when we become conscious, the child grows until they become conscious of themselves. They realize they're naked. Usually that's where it happens, right? When kids they start closing the bathroom doors and start doing this, start doing that. They don't want you to bathe them no more, right? So that's kind of where they realize you're naked, and now they feel self-conscious, insecure, shame. These are what starts to come, right? And now it's the doubt starts. That's the beginning of doubt, fear. Not because you want to, cover yourself, but it's usually due to, you know, that insecurity, that I'm ashamed, that kind of thing, privacy, right? So anyway, there's more, but I'm talking about it from that aspect of it, right? So that's how that grows, right? And now it also starts to uh, come in greater degrees as our world expands, right? And we become more awake to this world, right? So we lose touch with something very important, right? So now, if you want to overcome it, and for me, I've talked about this in my story, how 5 minutes in the presence of my mom to talk to her, and I felt like running after 3 minutes, like 4 minutes, I almost died. Right, I felt, not literally, but I felt like I was so stressed, I was so burdened, I wanted to run. Right, 5 minutes, and I stayed 5 minutes. I thought about cutting it short because I just couldn't take it. But no, I said 5 minutes, and I stood 5 minutes, right? And when I went back to my room, I collapsed on the ground and on my knees, and I said I got to do this again tomorrow. And the reason why I was happy, because this thought that's been pressing me for so long, telling me I can't, I can't, I can't, and I was believing this for so many years. And now finally I challenged it. I challenged this thing and proved it wrong. Oh my, so if it was wrong about that 5 minutes, if it told me I couldn't do it, and I proved it wrong about that one thing, what else is it wrong about? Oh my gosh. My wife called those glimmers, right? That was a glimmer. It's like a little light in the darkness. It's a little light in the darkness, and I held that damn light, man. I held it and I wouldn't let go because that was hope. That was hope, you know. And that's kind of what you have to do if you want to get through this. You have to set goals, set some targets, nothing big. Listen, a lot of times people want to scale the mountains, man. They want to conquer the world. They want to shoot to space and stand on the moon and go to Mars and all that to say I've done something. But no, 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 no. That's not what you need to do. It's the small, simple things. Sometimes like just going outside, just having a conversation with somebody, just picking up the phone and calling somebody, just talking to your parents, to your siblings, to your spouse, whatever it is. Just having a conversation, just sitting there and feeling uncomfortable, feeling miserable, but the mindset is I'm going to stand here and I'm going to be good. That's the difference. A lot of times people will say, uh, like I would talk to people about this, and a lot of times and you hear this in all these circles, people think that, oh, I can't pretend to be okay because it's not authentic, or it's not real, or it's not whatever, it's not this and that. So it's like, you know, that's not it's not how it works. It's one thing when you are in a situation wearing a mask on your heart. You see what I'm saying? Wearing a mask of okay on your heart. That's different than wearing a mask of okay on your face. But your heart is I'll never get better. I'm a failure. I'll never this. I'll never that. If that's what you wear in your heart, but your face is, oh, you're good. I'm having a good day. And your heart's like, my day's miserable. I'm going to die. Your heart is what's going to manifest. You understand? That's what you're going to get in your life. You see? So it's not good enough to go and say the words, oh, I'm good, and you're trying to be there, but you're just cursing your existence. That's not it. You've got to say in your heart, that know in your heart that there is benefit and value in being here. And even just to have that stable in your heart, you're going to have to fight for it, because you're trying to bring faith and belief in a place that is covered in doubt. The doubt's going to try to choke the faith out. So it's going to be a wrestling. There's going to be a struggle just to have that seed settle in there. Right? That's how it works. So that's why you need to set some goals, and then small goals, man. And then you step out and you accomplish that goal. Small things. So when you accomplish it, you feel good about yourself, right? And then you can build up from there, right? Just because you set a goal or two, and then you got a setback here and there, don't lose hope. Set some more goals, go forward, right? That's how this works. It's a battle. You don't. It's like, a lot of times people want to wait for the confidence to hit before they go do anything. You gotta wait till you feel good, till you feel all the belief, till you feel all the confidence before you get up and go do something. It's like, no, that's not how it works. You have to build confidence. You have to build courage. You have to build uh, uh, hope. You have to build faith. You have to build resilience. You have to build all that by getting up and doing. That's how you challenge self-doubt, because once you start accomplishing stuff, then you start to believe. And also your internal monologue has been of doubt. I can't, I'm so miserable, I'm so this, I'll never that. Oh, I don't want them to, they're gonna laugh at me, they're gonna this. It's all negative. So you have to change your internal dialogue, your monologue, what do you say to yourself. You have to change that language to being more belief oriented, right? Because you got to think about it. Listen, first it starts off when with mental illness. It's always it starts off with emotion. You feel fear, you feel panic, you feel this, you feel all these negative emotions, and then what happens? You start to think. Your thoughts starts to speak what your body is feeling, what your emotions are feeling, right? That becomes the monologue, the dialogue. That's what goes through your head, right? And then you start to speak it. Then it becomes, you know what I mean? Now your life is trapped. Your internal world is now repeating on negatives. Your body's feeling that negative vibration. So want to take back the confidence, you have to reverse the process. Remember, doubt is an inversion of faith, right? So if you want faith or confidence, you have to do the opposite, right? It's the inverse. You have to start believing, you have to start doing things, speaking things, thinking things that are positive, that are more in line with faith, right? That's really how it starts. You got to start thinking it, and your feelings won't lead you this time. In the other way, how you got stuck in this problem is your feelings led you, and you start to think and allow that your feelings to guide your thoughts. You see what I'm saying? So now you have to have your thoughts lead the way, and your feelings will follow after, right? Now you have to be intentional, because you are not meant to have your feelings guide you in life. Your thought, your mind, your higher consciousness, that's be able to look, judge, discern, see what's good, make good decisions, right? That's what's supposed to take the lead. So in the process, you are learning, you're getting understanding about yourself. You understand? That's what's happening. You're learning so much, because in this process, you're going to build faith, you're going to build hope, you're going to build resilience, you're going to build all those good things, courage. All that comes through this process. That takes time, it takes patience. All that comes here, right? But it's the process that everybody wants to skip over and get to the end of the race. They want to cross the finish line without even running the race. That's not how life works. You know, our minds are twisted, because in this world we're taught about what to value and what's important, and the world lies to us. The things that are important are the things that we want to neglect, right? And the things that are not the priorities, those are the things we want to prioritize. Twice, we don't want to spend no, we don't want to spend time in the things dedicated to the things that are actually more meaningful and sustaining in life, right? And that's not what life's about, right? There's delusions are more than just mental illness wise, right? There's a shared delusions, and this is what the reality of this world is. It's all a shared delusion, because none of us in this world, this big freaking world that the sane people, everybody accept, it's all a delusion, right? It's all a lie, right? Because nobody, like all these people, don't know what the heck reality is, right? It's just we just build this world and think what we find important, what we call true, what we call right, what we call justice, what we call all these things that's reality. It's like, no, it's only is because we say it is. You think about that. We come into this world, this world was here, everything was here, and we impose ourselves on nature, on the land and everything, and we uh, give meaning or definition to everything, and we become the ultimate authority and author of all. That's a delusion, because that's not the case, right? Reality is far, far different, right? And I think so. There's different levels of delusion, and So, but another one is when we just think that life's all about success and ladders and this and trying to that and that, and it's like sometimes it's the simple things, man. Simple things like you know building character. That's the stuff we want to neglect, and we pay a cost for that, right? So this will actually show you about the right way of doing things, because it does not bow to your whims. You have to submit to the laws that govern this stuff, right? So if you want confidence, self-confidence, you have to step out. You have to set your goals, start to speak positive, think positive. My wife, she practiced affirmations. I used to just, I practiced them at first before when I started recovering. I used to always be thankful for recovery, be thankful for being 100% recovered, be thankful for peace, be thankful for like everything, man. Be thankful for all the stuff that I wanted, as if I had it. I didn't thankful it was gonna happen. I was always thankful in my head. I was always say it, or speak it out loud sometimes. But I'm thankful for this. I'm thankful for peace. I'm thankful for a sound mind. I'm thankful for this. Thankful. I go to school. I'm smart. I understand this. You know what I mean? Like, you feel inferior in a lot of ways, but you have to step out of that and speak confidence. Think it, speak it, and act it. Not be arrogant or something like that, but you have to be open, and in a way that you are able to receive the instruction and the knowledge and the wisdom that you need. And so you have to make your vibrations, your energy, match what you want. So confidence moves a certain way, just like how lack of confidence moves a certain way, right? So you gotta be open to receive. But if you're just, or you want to be confident, but you just walk in pure negativity, your head's down, you're this, you'll never that, you'll never get nothing, right? So my wife, again, she shows me a quote that says, "Inspiration, inspiration is there," or something like that, but it has to find you. It has to find you working. Inspiration is there. It has to find you working. That's how you get inspiration. You don't just, you know what I mean? Like, it's usually on the path. You get revelation. You get understanding. It's usually on the path, not while you're, not even doing anything. You gotta get up and fail and be like that child. You fall, 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 and you keep going. Keep that confidence up, and don't worry about failure in front of other people or whatever. Don't worry about that. Sometimes when I was at school, what I would do is the teacher would ask a simple question. I had to give a wrong answer, stupid answer, just because I was feeling insecure. So I needed to say something to show that, hey, who cares if I look like a fool, or if people want to judge me, or whatever the heck it is. The worst they could do is laugh at me. And look, they laugh at me. I'm still good. I remember one time I asked a girl for a number because I thought she was cute, and I felt like, and I was afraid, I didn't want to, so I went and I did it anyways. I did it anyways. Why? Because I needed to step outside of this, this energy that's surrounding me, right? That's how I got where I'm at today. I didn't get here by just playing things, being safe, being this, you know what I mean? Like, I said being safe. I mean, by not taking any risks, that's not necessarily gonna hurt me. But like I said, I didn't I risked my feelings getting hurt when I asked a girl for a number. I risked that, right? But the worst she could say is no. She said no. She had a boyfriend. She's probably lying, but maybe she's telling the truth. I don't know. But I did. My point was, I heard that, and I was still good. It's like, okay, so what am I saying? What was all that nerves for? Right? Just because of a word? No, come on. But sometimes you have to step through that wall to find out what's on the other side, and you realize what's on the other side is never as bad as your mind tells you it is, right? So that's what I prove these things, and that's why I can I that's how I got where I am today, right? Because I haven't done things the conventional way, right? I did things out the box. I challenged myself, right? I intentionally challenged myself because I knew that in order to build confidence, I need to step through insecurity. I need to step through fear. I need to step through all these things, right? It's not that I wanted to, but it's because I didn't want to. That's why I did them, right? Because there's something in me telling me that I shouldn't do it, right? Just like I was talking to my mom, right, that time in the kitchen there. So everything was in me was telling me not to do it. The next day when I went back, it was telling me not to do it. You can't do it. You can't do this. You're gonna this. You're gonna run. You're gonna cry. What happened last time? You almost broke. You're gonna break this stuff. All this stuff. There's so much that comes, but you gotta defy that stuff. No, it's telling you, I'm gonna do it anyways. I used to go running in the morning. I used to get up. My body's tired. My mind's tired. Oh, do it tomorrow. I said, nope. I'm gonna get up just because I said I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Just because I'm tired. Just because my body's telling me not to do it. I'm gonna get up and do it anyways. you know, that's why I lost 100 pounds twice. Right? I do stuff like that because I know that I have to uh, challenge myself. You understand? If I just walked with how I felt all the time, I wouldn't have done anything. I wouldn't have recovered. I wouldn't have lost the weight. I wouldn't have done nothing. You see, I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't have got through school, right? I wouldn't have recovered. I wouldn't have been here at all. You understand? So that's kind of how I dealt with that stuff, man. So anyway, if you made it this far in the video, that's um that's a lot of jibber jabbering. Um, but yeah, it's good. it's there's so much to this, man. There's so much to it that it's I can't do justice, but um, maybe I'll do it a proper way next time, more concise, condensed and concise way. But it's just I'm trying to give a full picture because sometimes you give people little pieces here and there, but they don't get the picture, and so there's a whole mindset, mind frame that you need, and but I can definitely work on condensing that, and for another time maybe I'll get it in that format that I'm looking that I think would be beneficial. I really think they'll help people get a visual understanding of what I'm trying to the picture I'm trying to paint. All right, that's my cue to get off. Until next time, later.